Welcome back, everyone. Jack with the Crichton Chronicles, here with another video. Hopefully not a rant video, but a video about, well, I'll try not to rant, about basically just about some developments in the collectible hobby. And if you're in the hobby, you already know a lot of these probably, especially if you're into sports card collecting or Pokemon. And that is where just the industry in general, the whole market's just gone crazy over the last year and a half, but especially over the last year. And so prices are skyrocketing, Pokemon's going nuts, all the sports cards, most of them anyway, are going crazy as well. And there's been issues with just huge price hikes and scalpers or flippers, whatever you want to call them. Like, I don't know. Everybody's got their own opinion on whether what they're doing is good or bad. They're just buying and reselling whatever resellers. There's a ton of them out there. But yeah, my end is I'm just basically a collector, and I would probably flip extras that I had in terms of like rock cards, basically Pokemon or Magic, more of the trading card end, more so than like the sports cards. But lately, over the past, I want to say month, Target has been cracking down in terms of putting up rules and policies and restrictions to purchase these items and this merchandise. And they basically, now you'll probably see them if you go out there, and this is kind of old news, but Target had put limits on what you could purchase, and it was MLB, NBA, NFL, and Pokemon. So, and the reason being, at first, I felt like it was more of a just, hey, we're trying to make it fair for others to have a chance at these, because a lot of people couldn't get them. People were complaining about the secondary market prices and the inflated prices. I mean, people will basically buy an ETB and sell it for $20 more, or sometimes double the amount. It really depends on which one they get. But so it just was this issue, and Target came in to try to like minimize that. And I felt like they didn't really have to do that. But I thought it was, I was okay with it, to be honest. People come in and they would just wipe a place out. You could have one or two, three individuals come in, wipe the place out, then go resell it. And because there's money there to be made, and it is what it is. So, but when it came to this and they were actually limiting the product, I kind of liked it, actually. So I don't think they had to do that or whatever. I think they were kind of just doing it to try to like stem that and try to make it fair for others and all this other stuff. So people had a chance to like get the product. So they limited. It varied per target, but a lot of them were one item out of those four categories, of those three sports, or in Pokemon, per visit. Some were per visit, per guest, per day. And some where we had some around here where there were like three or four items of different SKUs. So four different items. So, and those ones I like going there the most, obviously, because you could get more. Because when it came to like Pokemon and like a booster pack, it was like I could get one booster pack, and it's like, okay, at least I had it. But yeah, for a while I got pretty lucky finding Pokemon just out in the wild. For a good chunk of time, it was really dried up, but came around whatever, and was finding it. So I kind of started buying some of the select 2020 Panini, because I was like thinking in my mind, I'm not really into sports. I don't really care about sports. But so I thought I could sell them. Now, not resell them as a reseller would and a scalper, even though the price increases there with the sports were like 2 to 3 times the amount, like $20 sell for 80 or more. Sometimes, yeah, 4 or 5 times the amount of what the actual retail is, which is kind of crazy. But due to just my own, it might be dumb, people might think it's dumb, but just principle wise, it was like I would like to open them even on the channel and maybe I'll get something that would be worthwhile that I could sell then after the fact and fund the other stuff. So, but yeah, either way, I got a few of those. But now I guess there was an incident. I want to say it was Wisconsin. I haven't really looked into it. I know I watched a video from Northeast Ohio Sports Cards. I really like his videos. I'm not even into sports, but I like his analysis sometimes. He seems like a cool guy, and I would recommend checking him out. But he also does like trading cards, Marvel mainly, and Marvel comics. So he's into the comics. So, but yeah, so he had kind of went over a little bit, and I'm just trying to remember. But basically, like four guys tried to jump someone. I don't know if it was for sports cards or if it's Pokemon. I thought it was the NFL, but or basketball. I don't know. Either way, and but all that meshed out. Supposedly they caught the guys and whatever, and I don't believe anybody was hurt or whatever. But this caused some potential speculation that, well, is Target going to crack down even more? I thought there was a Walmart uh, article or rumor put out too that they might start cracking down and everything because Target had done the most. Like Walmart was more like it's still free for all. I never saw anything there. That's probably why I haven't found anything at Walmart in months. But in Target, I was able to find some, especially after these limits were put in. But I mean, Target was going to the extreme of, not extreme, but just going to the step of not allowing people to line up. People would line up the day before. They designated a day basically for the cards and to restock. Now, I've been to one Target, and this is where I didn't know that it was like a Friday only thing, but one was like, they said due to for the safety of our employees and guests, we will only be selling Pokemon or trading cards in those categories of sports and Pokemon worth $20 or more on Friday at 8 a.m. So that's just where I knew to start going at like 8 a.m. because I honestly had no clue. I would just check randomly throughout the week and it would have saved a lot of time and effort if I had known that little point. But so yeah. But they also stopped people from waiting out in line because they were supposedly waiting overnight or through the early morning hours and stuff like that. And so they were cracking down a lot more. But now they've announced that on the 14th, that May 14th, just 2 days or a day here, they will no longer be selling NFL, MLB, NBA, or Pokemon until further notice. So I almost said indefinitely, but it's until further notice. And I'm not sure. I feel like this just is a little bit too much. Supposedly, maybe it revolves around the incident where four guys tried to jump someone for whatever product it was that they had. But I mean, to be fair, there's been like a buildup of just the scalper or just people trying to camp out and get cards and products, but I felt like they kind of already were doing a good job at restricting that as much as they can because I feel like it was almost going a bit over limiting one per day per guest or whatever, but it is what it is. And that's probably the only way because I found stuff, but a lot of times I could only find stuff if I went at 8 a.m. So like the last 2 Fridays, I've went out and, sorry, one sec. I've went out at 8 a.m. on Fridays and went through the process of going through the line and getting the one item. The one right here is only one item per guest per day. So, which kind of sucks, but I try to make sure I get something of somewhat more value than a booster pack or whatever. So either way, so I felt like they were managing that pretty good, but I guess I kind of like some people like on the channel, I don't know his real name if he ever gives it, but on the Northeast Ohio sports card channel, he's like saying, this is what I expected. It didn't take anybody, whatever. If you didn't think this was happening, you're not reading the room. And I mean, I guess, but I still feel like it's extreme. I guess I feel like that was almost like extreme because they're cutting a product that they're making money on, and it's not just about the money, but these companies are also selling to them and it affects their other business, Nintendo, Pokemon, and Panini and everything. So who knows? I just thought that that was just a little too extreme, because what if I kind of get the lining up outside, I guess, but like, what about Black Friday? Like, it made me think of all these things. Like, what about Black Friday, where people actually like brawl, and like, are you? They haven't stopped Black Friday in decades. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like they don't care about that. Maybe they will now. I have no clue, but people actually have slugfests and go at each other and stuff for that. And I hadn't heard this. I heard of the one incident in, I want to say it was Wisconsin, but wherever it was, I don't care. It's just, I heard of that one incident. In this area around here where I'm at, I didn't hear anything. I haven't been hearing widespread news of violence and brawls and just crazy stuff, just people lining up. And I guess they maybe don't want to be responsible and whatever, but they still do that again on Black Friday and throughout the holiday season. My girlfriend's pointing out, like, now it's like you got doorbusters throughout the whole holiday season. I mean, with COVID and stuff, and last year there was probably it was changed a bit, and I don't know what it will be going forward, but either way, they had people lining up, waiting in line, trying to get product, doing all this stuff. When I used to wait, now it's different, but back in the day when a new video game came out, I'd be waiting out in line. A new system came out, waiting out in line. These things were okay. And I just felt like I feel like they were over-exaggerating everything. And I don't know if they're worried about the publicity of it greatly affecting them in a negative manner, even though you can't really help that. I mean, what if somebody bought a laptop or a new phone or a TV and they got like mugged outside the Target? Like, are you going to be like, sorry, Samsung, can't sell your product anymore because this individual decided to do this thing to this other individual and an act of violence or robbery or theft, whatever. So therefore, we can't sell your product. Like, oh, sorry, Apple, you can't sell your phones anymore, or anything. Canon, your cameras, because like these cards are like $20, maybe probably up to 50 is usually the high end that are selling at these places. And a TV is what, 700, 1200, a camera, a laptop, 400, 600. Like, you could get jacked getting any of that stuff. So I mean, if there was like widespread crazy, and maybe there is, so if there is, I stand corrected and I apologize, I guess, but I haven't heard anything. I've heard of one incident, and all of a sudden it's just like, not going to sell this product or these products because it's multiple. It's the sports cards as well as the Pokemon. And I guess I just don't get it, because I don't get the rest of it, whether it's Black Friday or just people out in line or whatever. When I went, granted, this is just anecdotal, before, like, my area, everybody just got in line. People were chatting. They were talking to each other. They knew each other. Most of them, they didn't know me because I was pretty new kid on the block. But like, everybody was just chill, got in line, got around to where the product was, picked it up. And at least where I'm at, you like got the line, you go around, pick the product, and they make you check out right away and go. So obviously they don't all necessarily run that way, but a lot of the other Targets that I went to, they were pretty good about the employees being like, explaining, this is what you can get. You can get up to 3 or 4 products, different products, and, just one of each and stuff like that. Or if it was just one per customer per day or whatever, they're pretty well trained on that. And they had someone there around there, at least through a certain time and whatever. I know it was really weird when we went through where you can get multiple. You still had to do like one at a time. So it was like 3 transactions rather than just pay for all 3 in one transaction because of that policy. So I don't know if they had something on their system. I think they have something on the Target system where you scan one, if you try to scan another. Actually, I think we try that with a booster pack and it will like flag. I don't know if you can bypass that if you want, if you're the cashier or whatever, or not. I have no clue. But anyway, everything was pretty cordial. So the fact that maybe there's just the one incident that supposedly is, it must be getting some attention, that I just don't understand why they're just flat out cutting it out. And it is what it is. It's temporary. I know I saw a video, and I can't remember who the individual who I just watched. It was like a 5-6 minute video who said like the VP of sales for Panini came out to address the things. They said that it was just temporary with the Panini and everything. So I have no idea about Nintendo, Pokemon, and whatever. Because part of me was wondering, like, can these companies like not retaliate? I hate saying sue, but like, kind of like along those lines, like, can they say or do anything, or like, not allow Target to do that? I guess maybe not, I guess, because Target has the say, but it affects their sales and everything. So I don't know, but I just thought I'd give my opinion on it. I know it's getting to be about 15 minutes here, so I'll try to cut it. But I just didn't understand why they went to the extreme of completely stopping sales of the product. I'm still going to go around to the Targets in my area this Friday to see if they're upholding that, or because part of me feels like they have products still already there and to have it put out. So are they going to do it that one last time, or are they going to hold it? I mean, this isn't even like the fact of considering that there are stories of employees like taking stuff in the back, or making, like, hooking up their friends and family and stuff like that with product outside. I mean, there's ways that people would skirt these restrictions and stuff, and you can't control it all, but they did their best, and I thought it was good. But I think this is just kind of like a little too much, I guess, to just flat out deny it, where like, even, and this isn't even the area that there's like the inflated attention towards a product, not just the trading cards, but like, I think it's NECA. I want to say it's NECA. I'm not really whatever, but basically toy figures and stuff like that is a big one, where people have supposedly had shown like holding stuff in the back, whatever. They're trying to limit that because, I mean, there's just all these different product that people are able to purchase and resell, whether it's on eBay or just local Facebook Marketplace, whatever it is. But yeah, so anyway, I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are, if you're kind of in the hobby, or even if you're not, like, with the gist of what I've given you here, like, do you think it was a little too much to completely cut the sales of a product? And who knows how long that's going to be for? I have no idea. So who knows? Like, do you have any stories of any kind of like violence, I guess? Like, all I've known is people have been standing in line early hours, nothing about fighting or whatever. And I get like they're kind of worried about the whole issue of like just of safety, I guess. But again, there's other events like the holiday season from Thanksgiving on through Christmas where they don't mind that or whatever. It's encouraged because they have doorbusters, so they actively like encourage that. So I don't know. I just thought it was bizarre. So any stories of anything in your area with either Target? I mean, Walmart's still supposedly going, but maybe they'll make an announcement and shut that down too. I mean, I would imagine there'd be, well, I don't know. I don't know if there'd be more prone to be, everybody's going to just flock to these places. Is that going to then inadvertently create more issues at these places too, if there's all these supposed like violence and uproar and anarchy and stuff? I don't know. So if you have any stories of any of these stores where this has been an issue, I'm really kind of curious and would like to hear in the comments below. And or do you think, like I said, like they went too far? Do you think this is the right thing to do? And just kind of about your opinions and just what you think about the hobby in general and all the crazy flipping, and like, do you agree with flipping and all that? So I don't know, kind of curious, and I appreciate you hanging out, and yeah, until next time, take care.